Hello guys, Happy New Year. We are trying something new on this channel. This is going to be a non-live stream. It is like a live stream, but then not that. It's not live. It's just a stream. And the point of it is essentially, I'm gonna talk about a bunch of running stuff, breaking three, the peak weeks, taper, running shoes, Strava. And the idea is that you can take this along for your run, your easy run, and you just listen, sort of like a podcast or a Kafuzi live stream or Believe in the Run, the Drop, that kind of thing. I'm doing this because I don't have time to shoot any content and edit it with all the marathon training, the holidays, being a dad of three. There's a lot going on. So I figure if I just press record and just start talking, then I can at least get some content out there and the channel will not die. So for context, for those of you who watch this, like me making YouTube content, it happens by miracle every week that I'm able to post something. So I own one light. I have one light, I'll show you. It's over there. There it is. That's the light that I own. I have one microphone I'm wearing. I used to have a second lav. I don't know where it went. So I have one microphone. I have a GoPro 9, and then I have like the cheapest talking head camera that you can buy. It doesn't even have like a detachable lens. So the fact that I have any B-roll or that I'm able to shoot and edit anything, like I use my wife's computer for her laptop for editing purposes. It has iMovie on it, so I don't buy any editing software or anything like that. My point to all of that is my capabilities to shoot content are very limited to begin with. So here we are. I see Luis Becerra is in here. He says, yo, Andrew, I guess we're all LBNLs later, but not lives. Yes, Luis. And happy congratulations, belated, on CIM PR. Way to get it, Luis. Obscure jokes aside, well, let's get into it. So how's the running going? This is my favorite part of the drop when I listen to Believe in the Run. They always say like, hey Robbie, how's your running going? Hey Meg, how's your running going? And even though they talk about a lot of other stuff, that's actually the most fascinating part, like the part that I'm interested in the most. So for my running, if you've been following along on the Stravas or just on this channel, my goal is to break 3 hours in the marathon at the Houston Marathon in 2 weeks. Since the last video that I posted, I've gone through 3 peak weeks. The mileage has been, I think, 64 miles, then 70, and then 74. And they've had a long run of 20, 22, and 24. The 22-mile long run had a 2 by 10K at marathon pace. And then the one yesterday, or 2 days ago, had 3 by 5 miles at marathon pace. I'm probably gonna cut that whole section out because I don't think it adds anything and I don't know what it means. Okay, I wrote down peak weeks. I wrote taper. Triple magnesium. Okay, recovery. So I just started the taper. I listened to and watch all like the YouTubers and that shootubers, running YouTubers in the space, and they're all my coaches, even though they don't know it. And sometimes they'll say, oh, I did this. And I'm like, I should do that, right? Totally, I'm gonna do that. And I think it was Floberg uses these like no strips. So I used those, and I don't know if I'm any faster because of them, but it feels great. So I like that. I can breathe much better, which I feel like even if I'm getting a beat or two lower in the heart rate, that's that advantage that I need. And another one was triple magnesium. You can get it on the feed. I think that's the only place you can get it here. And then a guy named Scott Collar, who's a running YouTuber, or he's a very fast runner, and he has made YouTube content. And he recommended it in one of his videos, and then maybe Floberg too, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's supposed to maximize your sleep. So then like you look and you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting like an extra 42 minutes of deep sleep, and those adaptations are going to make the difference. That's going to give me at least 17 seconds total in this next marathon. So I tried it, and it does say there's like a warning label on there that it may act as a laxative, and that's probably really important to try that before you decide to use it for race day or whatever, because there was a little turbulence when I first got it, and then everything was okay. It was just 40 servings. So I was like, I reverse engineered it. I'm like, for my race day, I'm gonna get the best sleep of my life, 40 days going into it. And yeah, after a few days, everything kind of ironed out. Everything was all right. But then recently, this whole week from like Christmas to New Year's has not been great. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm taking all these electrolytes and drinking so much water to rehydrate. Is it working against me when I sleep? Because my body's just trying to rehydrate, and then I quit taking it for a couple days, and I looked and I got like a lot of deep sleep. And I'm wondering if it's one of those things. Yeah, it helps a little bit, but if I take the supplement, then I'm like, okay, I've got to make sure that I get a lot of sleep to get the most out of the supplement that I'm taking. And so like I actually end up sleeping more. Try to do it like, it's almost like, and I'm that way in my gym bro days. If I get protein or creatine or something, I don't know how much benefit the creatine gives me or gave me, but if I took it, then I would be really motivated to go to the gym, because I wouldn't want to just take it and waste it. Like I want to put it to use. And I'm wondering if it's something like that. Anyway, plan for the taper is to sleep as much as possible. I think I've got about 45 to 50 miles in the books this upcoming week. And there's still some speed in there to keep the legs moving and the leg turnover, but it's coming down from 75. And then the following week, I have no idea when I'm going to be running, because my coach will prescribe it then. Check it out on the Strava. By the way, Strava is my favorite social media, and I'm very weird like that. I follow back on everybody. It's a weird thing, like in the running community, like my first marathon, I was surprised at like how many people were out there just supporting and like holding signs and cheering. And so I kind of treat Strava like that. I have my, sign out, whore for kudos, just pass them out to everybody. But it's really great to see other runners going for their own goals and supporting each other. And to me, more than any other social media, it's very genuine, and that's like a big thing for me. So I know that part of Instagram is the aesthetic. I'm on Instagram. I don't really make reels. I've tried to get into it. I forget it's there. If anything, I'm on there as a participant. I'm just scrolling and watching other people. I don't really want to put that foot forward, I guess. I don't know. And I'm like Ben Button. I'm just getting younger, so I kind of grew out of Facebook the other way. I still post pictures of my kids and stuff on there for like my relatives and family and stuff. And also, maybe a decade ago, I realized, hey, this is like how this generation takes pictures and then holds them for their kids when their kids get older. So I started putting all my posts as like digital artifacts. So when my kids are older, I could be like, here's all your pictures when you were younger, and here's all these things, but not really for other people. I don't scroll on it. And so, but like with Strava, you come as you are, it's like, you can manipulate it, I guess, but it's like, hey, I went out and I ran 11-minute miles, 6 miles. This is it. This is how fast I am. This is who I am, whatever, right? And it's cool. No one cares, right? And so I'm just really supportive of other people genuinely on their journey, as they go towards their goals. I just think it's really neat. So there's that. Now I'm gonna go into my phone here, see what else I wrote. Race predictors. Ha! Might make a video on that. I've made videos on race predictors, no one really watches them. I think they're fascinating. I think maybe they're not that helpful, but they're like generally helpful. I think the race predictors have me somewhere in like a 307 or 306 range. Now I went back and I looked at the 4 marathons that I've run, and assuming that I didn't mess anything up with nutrition or hydration and I ran according to my fitness, I tend to finish in front of it by quite a few minutes. So I think I'm ballpark sub 3 shape, but I don't know. So anyway, I'm not gonna, if I make a whole video of it, it's just gonna be like, this is a digital artifact for me to return to. Going into the marathon, it says I could run this. This is what I ran, because I always forget later. Anyway, I'm pretending. Oh, Ku Vang's in here. He says, hey Andrew, just joined your running crew in Grit, which starts today. Looking forward to it. Midlife runners all the way. He didn't really say that. I'm just making that up. I am doing Winter Grit. I thought it was going to be in December because I signed up for it like in November, but it's actually in January. Just started. If you signed up for Grit, for Winter Grit, and you already belong to a crew, maybe you can hop out. Maybe it's not too late. Come join the Midlife Runners. There's already groups in Grit. Believe in the Run does Grit. How many miles can you run in January? I'm assuming you all know this. If you watch my channel, you probably already know Kafuzi Run Club, Believe in the Run, and all of the major running YouTube channels in the space. And so then you know, maybe if you've done Grit, that you can join up with a run crew. And Believe in the Run always has a big one. The Kafuzi Run Club has a big one. But I say join the Green Party. Just toss away your vote right there for Ross Perot. Join the Midlife Runners. You won't regret it, unless you do. And then you'll have lots of regrets. That's one way to start 2024. So I also have shoe segment. Oh man, so Black Friday, I got the Nike Alpha Fly 2 for 30% off in store. I am hyped for the Alpha Fly 3, but I have a lot of anxiety about it selling out. I got the Endorphin Pro 3, I think Black Friday also for 25% off. Then I got the Boston 12. So I want to talk about all these shoes because I think there's a common denominator like element that goes into all of these. And that is the expectation I had of the shoe before I bought it, and then like what I got, right? So starting with the Alpha Fly 2. I took this on all 3 of my long runs, the 20, the 22, and 24 miler. And I really like the shoe, which is a surprise because I thought I wasn't going to, because I love the Alpha Fly 1. And this is a step back according to many shoe tubers, and it is more stable, it is less aggressive. So it does feel like a step back. However, I think what it gained was just an incredible amount of bounce. It's the bounciest of all time, maybe. I don't know. But I was just surprised at how much I liked it because I was expecting it to suck. And it didn't. And it made the run pretty effortless on a lot of those marathon pace miles. So I love the shoe. Now I take 2 other shoes. The Endorphin Pro 3. Not one bad shoe review. Not one person said this shoe wasn't absolute fire, a raging inferno. Just, it slaps, it hits different, it's very violent, it's a very violent shoe. It is wonderful and liked and loved by all. And I did a threshold workout in it, and I was like, this is kind of firm, right? Almost like an Endorphin Pro. And then I realized, oh, okay, yeah, you know, like I like the Endorphin Pro 1. And maybe this is less firm than that shoe and a step in the right direction. It also came out like a year and a half ago. I regretted not getting it on Black Friday, the Black Friday before, because then the whole entire year it never went on sale. And I'm a budget guy, budget buyer, a BB, if you will. And so I finally got it, and it's firm. And it was firmer than I thought. So I understand it's early on. This isn't a review, an official review of the shoe. I was just a little surprised. I think that the Endorphin Elite, which I haven't gotten my hands on, is probably what I thought I was gonna get based on what other people are saying with the Endorphin Pro 3. Just because of that midsole look. It just looks like it was gonna give me the kind of return that the Endorphin Elite does for many people. It's a lot of people's super shoe of the year. So, when we get to the Boston 12. I'm 92% sure I'm gonna make a video called the Boston 12, but I have to get it to apparently 50 miles at least, and I've maybe only got 25 or 30 in it before the midsole breaks in. Apparently this is one of those shoes that it needs that. Now, this was like mind-blowing to me because it is the shoe of the year for Ed Bud. A lot of shoe tubers love it. Joanna loves it. It's a firm shoe. It's, believe in the run, I think for best do-it-all daily trainer shoe. It took the cake, took the prize, the medal, the podiumed for sure. And I don't get it. It's almost like the Prime X, but without any magic. With like no softness, everything. But I'm like, okay, but it's got to get to 50 miles first. But hear me out, okay? Because I was thinking about this, and once upon a time, I watched this show, Dexter. And I watched the first season, I liked it. I watched the second season, I liked it. Third season, kind of got a little aimless. I quit watching it. There's lots of other great TV shows out there, so I just started watching those. The fourth season came out, and that's the best one apparently. And it's got John Lithgow in it. Everyone's like, hey, you got to watch this. It's the best one, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll get to it. And I never did, right? And then the season ended, the whole show ended, and it's like the worst ending of all time. So they're like, don't waste your time. Because I was like, one day I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna suffer through the rest of season 3 to get to the best season, season 4. But the whole thing, whatever. So then they do like a relaunch. They try to make, they bring Dexter back because they want to fix the ending and they want to do it justice and all this stuff. And every time I tell people, yeah, I never got through season 3, they're like, just do it. That's the Boston 12 for me, right? It's like, why do I have to suffer through 50 miles, right? If I do 250, that's 20% of the shoe. If I run 500 miles in the shoe, that's like 10% of the shoe. Why do I have to suffer through 10% of the shoe's lifespan? Because it is abysmal at daily, like easy paces, like just regular daily trainer, regular old runs. They suck. They are not comfortable whatsoever. IMO, in my opinion, right? So why do I have to suffer through this lifespan of the shoe when there are other options I can just put on my feet and go and they feel better? I'm waiting to unlock the magical 51st mile or whatever, you know, and take the shoe to 100 plus before I give an overall review. Because that upper too. I'm sorry. It is the worst. I mean, Adidas uppers are already on the naughty list. They're not great. But that one, especially, we're not, like, I don't even want to get into it right now. I'll save it for the review. Let's see. Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, I wrote a joke here. That the Boston 12 is like the Wish Prime X or whatever bootleg overseas deep fake company Prime X. I bought some fake Vaporfly 1.0s one time. StockX, one of those things overseas. They sent them, and sad. I cried. That's the last time I'm, going away from the knowns, the running warehouses, the REIs, the Dick's Sporting Goods, or whatever. So, anyway, sweet. I wrote down 3,500 subscribers. Uh-oh, I'm getting low on battery. We might be going out soon. I'm not sure what that means, other than more than my mom watches this channel. So crossing a certain number of thresholds, I don't know, it doesn't really mean anything. Hi Mom, if you're watching, love you. Okay, so the power is about to go out on this camera, even though it's plugged in. So I guess that's gonna have to be a good place to end it. Put in the comments below if you enjoyed any of this stuff, if you actually listen to it on your run. If you're just like, no fam, why don't you just go ahead and shoot a video and then edit it and release it once every 3 weeks, if that's all the time you have. I'd rather have that than you just rambling about the Boston 12. Indeed, I can do that. So your feedback's appreciated. I appreciate you watching. All right, I'm out of here. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.